Welcome to the Sideline. I'm Andy Katz. Well, this is going to be a home for a lot of original content in college sports and beyond. Now, of course, you're going to get a lot of that similar content that I produce for NCAA platforms, Big Ten Network, and other places. But I needed a home for a lot of those interviews with the newsmakers in this space. So where are you going to find it? Right here at the Sideline. Let's get to it. All right, well, I think back to this season, and you came out strong. And then, kind of like a lot of guys at Illinois, there was a little bit of a dip. Some guys were hurt. There was illnesses, all sorts of things, out of rhythm, and then strong again at the end. How would you describe what your freshman season was like?
I feel like it was really good. I learned a lot throughout the season. I felt like it was good for my growth. As you said, it started off very strong, and then, I faced a little dip, and then I went back strong. So I felt like it was good that I finished the season off pretty well. And, yeah, it was good for my growth and good to learn how to go through those emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I think early on, everyone's like, oh, you're a lottery pick, da-da-da. And then it was like, whoa, okay, let's wait and see. And then, again.
Yeah.
I mean, how were you able to sort of deal with the outside noise of what you were going through just as a freshman?
I just blocked it out. I just listened to my inner circle, just talk to the people who know me best, and I just blocked out all the outside noise.
How much was it a case of where, as you get deeper into the Big Ten, they start scouting you better, non-conference maybe they don't, that you had to deal with, okay, they're coming at me now. I'm now high up on the scouting report.
Yeah, obviously I was a freshman, just got out of high school, and, I started off strong, and teams didn't really know who I was too much, so I was able to get everything off, and they started to scout that and realize that, and then I kind of took a turn from then, and then I started to get adjusted to new defenses, started to feel and see every ball screen coverage, and I just got used to that. I improved throughout the season.
I know originally from Canada, so not Europe, so we can't. I mean, obviously there's the whole U.S. influence right here in North America, but how much did it help you playing on sort of more of an international team, which is really kind of the norm in the NBA now?
Yeah, I feel like it helped me with a lot of things. It's just you learn different things from different places. So I learned a lot from Canada, and I learned a lot from America. So it just combines well.
How about on your teammates somewhere from around the globe?
Yeah, playing with European guys is amazing. They teach you so much different stuff. Not just in basketball, but outside of basketball, just things they do, stuff like that. You just learn a lot from them for sure.
What is it about the fundamentals you think that, whether it's Europe, Canada, that you come a little bit better prepared?
Yeah, the fundamentals, you're just taught that from such a young age, just the basic stuff from such a young age. You're taught basic things like footwork, like just pivoting and stuff like that. It's just taught at such a young age, so you just learn it from when you're younger.
What's the one aspect of your game that you think was a fair criticism during this season?
I feel like I was very frail coming into the season. I was very skinny, but I gained a lot of weight as the time went on.
What about defensively?
Defensively, I feel like I improved a lot during the season, but at the start, I feel like I was a little slow on my feet at times. But as the season went on, I was working on it with my coach, Coach Fletch at the university, and I feel like it improved a lot.
It's hard to say how you improved defensively. Mm-hmm. How do you measure how you're improved defensively?
Just this summer, I've just been working on just in the gym, lifting, eating a lot, just sticking to my diet. I feel like that's the main part that was lacking from the start of the year, which was obviously showing the incapabilities on defense. But as time went on, I feel like I've gained a lot of weight and muscle, so I've been able to perform better on the defensive end.
When did you know you could be an NBA draft pick?
I've always thought I was going to be an NBA draft pick ever since I started playing basketball, honestly.
So you had no doubts during this course of the season?
Never a doubt.
It's easy to sort of say, he plays like player X or whatever, and I know it's always a little piece here and there. But so who would be players if we were to say, okay, Will Riley is a little bit like this, and this?
I've gotten a lot in comparisons from other people, but personally, I like to say I have flashes of like Shea, LaMelo, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum. I feel like I can combine a lot of their. I feel like I have a very unique game though, so I don't play like a certain player, but flashes of those types of players for sure.
If it's unique, how would I describe it?
I mean, I would describe it by a player who is very coachable, uh, high IQ, able to read different things off the ball and on the ball, make the right reads for sure, playmaker, and overall just a good scorer.
Team Canada keeps coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, you're a part of that program. What is it about this group of this generation of Canadians that who knows, 2028 could be right there.
Yeah, Canada's starting to get put on notice a little bit as the years come. When I started playing basketball, it was just starting to rise, so now it's like at the top of that it's ever been at. So they're just starting to notice guys in Canada can actually ball, and there's a lot of them, and we're just making names for ourselves.
So Carter, you were a classic case where you weren't the headline name, and I was doing the games in Seattle, and you were popping off the floor. Like, we were all talking about you, and yet you weren't the guy. How did you navigate this season to where you've put yourself in this position without being sort of the headline guy?
Yeah, I think it's all just faith and opportunity, having a good circle of people around you. I think the biggest thing they just always told me is have faith. I had a great group of guys around me. My mother as well. But being able to talk to them and understanding, having older guys that have played in the NBA and play in the NBA, they're like, just star in your role. Just star in your role. Just make the most of what you got. So just understanding that and just trying to be the best version of myself no matter what my role is, depending on the game, whatever I have to do, just making the best of it.
And how were you able, to sort of check that ego at the door? I mean, you were clearly maybe the most NBA guy on the roster, yet you didn't have to be, the leading scorer.
Yeah, I think it started from day one. As soon as I got to campus, Coach Lloyd was like, everybody here has a role. Whether you score the ball for us, that's a role. We need you to score the basketball. If you have to switch 1 through 5 and be our best defender, that's a role. You have to defend multiple positions. If we need you to come in for 2 minutes and give us a spark engine, thing, you had to do it. So I think Coach Lloyd and the staff did a good job of allowing me to really take the time and be like, okay, this is what it is. I need to do this. I need to do this. I have to stay on the floor. I need to rebound the ball. I need to defend. I need to be able to switch multiple positions. So just things like that.
I also think that, Caleb loves the moment.
He does.
I interviewed him, as you know, many times, and
Yes,
he likes the spotlight. That allowed someone like you to sort of flourish. Caleb would take all the interviews and all the, he'd be the locker room, quotes and all that.
Yes, sir.
And that may happen in the NBA too. Where you've got
For
a big name that's taking a lot of the oxygen, in the room, and then you sort of do your thing. How much did that help you sort of play off of Caleb?
That helped me a lot. Caleb as a player and as a human, he's like one of the greatest humans I ever met. And it was definitely interesting because going into college, like, you're not in the locker room. So hearing so many things, everybody obviously knows, whatever the case may be for the whole UNC thing. But like, there's so many rumors and everything is left to ear and just of other people. But Caleb, without Caleb this year, he taught me so many things. He was such a good guy. He always kept my spirits up high. So having a vet like him and understanding what it's like to have a great year and what it's like to be at the lowest mentally, him just always picking me up. I remember before every game, we would pray before every game, but after the prayer, he would always come say something to me. He said the same thing before every game, and then after the game, no matter how it was, win, lose, or draw, he was always in my ear, I'm proud of you. Just keep going. Just keep it going. So I'm really grateful for him. But, having a guy like Caleb, it took so much pressure off my shoulders in terms of just walking in, being a highly touted freshman, just being able to walk in and just take a deep breath and be like, okay, All right. Oh, I got one interview today. Oh, I got no interviews after the game. So it was nice. It was nice. I wouldn't say I'm complaining at all.
I also feel like we noticed you defensively before offensively, which is not always the case. How much pride do you take in your defense?
That's what the majority of my pride is. If I had to do 100% pie chart, it's 90 defense, 10 offense. I think that's what you see keeps guys on the floors. You see in the NBA, it's a very switch-oriented league, and obviously sometimes you have a lot of good players in the NBA. You have to be able to stay on them. So just understand the defensive side of the ball, understanding schemes, tendencies, coaches' tendencies. You know, a lot of coaches like to get certain things depending on the point of the game, whether it's an ATO, whether it's going into halftime, start of a quarter. Certain coaches have certain tendencies to do certain things. Certain players have things they always like to get back to if they're starting to get uncomfortable. So just understanding stuff like that was big for me.
When did you realize this was possible?
When I was young, I always felt like it was within arm's reach because I just loved the game of basketball. It never occurred to me that to make it to the biggest stage of basketball, the highest level of basketball, you had to be a 0.1% of 0.1 percenters. It was always something I just loved. I remember always waking up in the morning, going to the computer. Kobe was my guy, T-Mac was my guy, Paul George in Indiana was my guy. So I remember just waking up every morning, just researching basketball. Like, okay, I would go look at the all-time leading scorers list. I would go watch whatever games went on last night because my mom always had me go to bed at 8:30, so I was missing some games. I remember going on, watching all the games before I would get ready for school, and I just loved the game so much that it never felt like it was too far away. And then God obviously put me in a situation to be genetically gifted, so I'm just trying to make the most of it.
What aspect of your game do you think you need to improve the most?
I mean, everything. Basketball is such a unique game because you can never truly be completely polished at something. Your ball handling can always get better. Your defensive footwork can always get better. Your effort can always get better. Shooting the basketball, your technique, your form, your just little things like having a clean shot pocket, holding your release, playmaking, your passing, your decision-making get better. So I never try to see myself as what do I need to get better at? How do I get better every day 1% at everything on the court? So that's kind of how I view it.
You talk about your family. Who were the influencers, both on and off the court?
On the court, I would for sure say my dad, Deshaun Bryant, my uncle Trayvon, my grandfather played in Puerto Rico, played under Phil Jackson in Puerto Rico. So I would say those are the three biggest ones in terms of my family on the court, and then off the court, I would say everybody. I just have a really good support system around me. I had a ton of women who raised me along with everybody else in my family, but I think just constantly being around women just taught me how to stay focused and be able to be prepared because obviously, like, women, they have a lot more times than men, they're organization oriented. So just being able to put my mind towards one thing and be able to move one by one, not necessarily trying to take on one large task at one time helped me a lot.